Awesome! We are now live, and today we are going to be doing From Research to Rebuttal Crash Course 1. Which, if you've been following my channel for a while, then you would know that I have often talked about creating like a crash course so people can learn how to research, how to debate, and how to essentially be able to be polished in their communication of their ideas. And so I actually created a little PowerPoint, and we're going to do that because that will be fun. So I'm going to share my screen, and we will be uh, rolling. So sorry for that glitch. We are now going to go into the presentation from research to rebuttal, the crash course. Here's what we're going to learn today. We're going to learn the importance of a good speech, the qualities in a good speech, and good speech structure and its part. And the reason why I'm starting out with this is because without that good speech, everything else you learn is essentially meaningless. Well, in the context of a debate. And so the importance of a good speech, we have we have to have an organized presentation. Without it, it will feel discordant. There also has to be a flow to our points because without it, it feels like the speech itself is a bouncy ball. And a good speech will also have effective communication, where what you are trying to communicate is what being communicated, rather than something else. And it also will stay topical. Now, what are the qualities in a good speech? Now, this part I'm going to make extra emphasis on because, like, if without these, your speech will kind of be rendered like not exactly receptive to the other person. The first one is a sense of emotional detachment. And I know for a lot of us that can be hard, especially for the topics we're passionate about. But if you've ever debated with someone who was arguing from a place of emotion, then you would know that their points are without structure, cohesiveness, clarity, and sometimes they're even dishonest. Which brings us into the next point, which is intellectual honesty. If you were to try to prove that the biblical narrative is real, and one of your points was we found Adam and Eve's skeleton, that would be intellectual dishonesty. And any skeptic who's trying to listen from a place of like, I'm interested in the speech will be like, well, guess what? I don't care what the rest of this person has to say because they're a liar. There are no Adam and Eve skeletons. And then there's also lack of insults and personal attacks, which is not good for any sort of speech because then that just shows that you're not mature enough to be in a place of having this discussion. If you are resorting to insults, if you are resorting to personal attacks, where you're attacking a person, attacking their beliefs, attacking their ideologies, rather than the points that they're making, then you are not mature enough to be in this sort of discussion, and frankly, you're being rude, and it's not a good place to be for a speech. And it also will stay on topic, which that is also so important. For example, if you were creating a speech about like I don't know, cats being better than dogs, and you started talking about birds, that has nothing to do with the speech. So it's always important to stay on topic. We are actually now going to look at a poorly structured debater. In which case, we're going to hop on over to YouTube here.
The worst thing to do to the daughter is to then say, hey, we're going to go murder the being inside of you.
They wouldn't even know. Like, listen.
They wouldn't
listen,
know?
Listen.
But wouldn't it be a better story to say something evil happened and we do something good in the face of evil instead of saying we're going to do evil and then murder the being because we're going to pander to the evil? No, what makes the West great is that we do good after evil, not evil after evil.
It's not about the being and the cell. It's not about. No. I'm speaking. 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 Thank you. So it's not.
That essentially is the point, because from there, the woman did not have any structure to her points, and in fact, spent her speech, no, I'm speaking, no, I'm speaking, no, I'm speaking, which was extremely condescending and essentially rendered her message useless because she was rude and insulting. So, That's an example of what not to do. And this is not to put an attack on her, but rather to show that she is coming from a place of emotion rather than of like a sense of emotional detachment, as I was already saying. So to move on, um, we have good speech structure and its inner parts. This one is just a brief overview. In the book I'm writing, I really go in depth on how you can do this and even give practical examples. But to kind of summarize, the introduction will captivate your audience either via like a question, a scenario, or an analogy. It will address your thesis or the main point of your overall speech and its supporting points. The body will demonstrate the distinctive points and why your points matter. The important thing with the body is if you're doing a speech on, say, how harmful sugar is, and you're on a point that is on how bad sugar is for the brain, you wouldn't be talking about the digestive system with that because the digestive system is not the brain. And you also have to prove why your points matter. For example, in this, why does this matter? Because it needs to be organized, it needs to have a flow, and it needs to have a rhythm so then you could effectively communicate the message you're trying to. And then the conclusion kind of summarizes the points, readdresses the thesis, and brings the audience to a conclusion, which more often than not, you can tie in the analogy or the question or the scenario that you brought in from the beginning of your speech and tie it up with a nice bow by bringing it at the end of your speech. So there's that. That's all very easy, straightforward. And that will be it for the presentation. So I will be doing another casual live stream in just a second for those who want to chat. So join me for that. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye.